We got more of the latest Star Wars fiasco coming out of Lucasfilm, specifically about this Rey movie, which has been nothing but turbulence and, well, trouble from day one. And when you dig into why this project seems to be falling apart, it seems two names keep coming up: Kathleen Kennedy and Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy, and they're at the front and center of making decisions that that have created more problems than solutions for Lucasfilm's direction. So we're going to get right into it. So welcome back to Views with Hughes, Agenda Free News. This is Jerome Hughes. Now let's go ahead and get right into it. All right. So as you all know, Kathleen Kennedy has been calling all the shots at Lucasfilm for over a decade now, since 2012. And now Kathleen Kennedy's choices and her consistently being controversial, it seems like Kathleen Kennedy's prioritized her own agenda over listening to the fans. Now, under Kathleen Kennedy's leadership, Star Wars has moved further from its roots, steering into direction fans never asked for. At Star Wars Celebration, we saw that Kathleen Kennedy proudly announced the return of Daisy Ridley as Rey. But let's be honest here. It's Kathleen Kennedy's vision here that's driving this return, and that's where it's all starting to go wrong. Okay, so alongside Kathleen Kennedy, we have also Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy, who is a director known for her activism and documentaries than big budget films. And Kathleen Kennedy clearly chose Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy because of her focus on activism, even though Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy doesn't have the same background as previous Star Wars directors, okay, which says a lot. Now, it's also pretty clear that Kathleen Kennedy wasn't looking for a big director with the sci-fi or even storytelling experience. Instead, Kathleen Kennedy brought in Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy to push a new agenda for Star Wars, something that has absolutely divided the fan base, as well as the fact that Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy is easily controllable. But Kathleen Kennedy, and her decision to choose Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy, who was admitted into putting activism to all the projects, was a bold one. But here's a problem. Star Wars fans aren't interested in being lectured to, as you all know, and they want the solid storytelling, not political messages shoved down their throats. And Kathleen Kennedy seems to think that Star Wars needs to be modernized by infusing it with specific narratives. Okay, and even Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy embraced that approach. But these moves under Kennedy, watch, have alienated a lot of people who simply don't see their beloved franchise in the same way anymore. Okay, but even before Obaid-Chinoy was locked in, Kathleen Kennedy had already cycled through multiple writers for the Ray movie itself. Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson, both are known for in Hollywood, were the first writing team that Kathleen Kennedy approached. Yet in classic Kathleen Kennedy fashion, I mean, they left due to creative differences. We all know what that is. But given Kathleen Kennedy's past, it's easy to speculate that she was pushing ideas that didn't align with their vision that was Star Wars stories should be, and that this isn't the first time that Kathleen Kennedy's creative differences have sent writers packing. But let's be honest here. After Lindelof and Britt Gibson's departure, Kennedy herself brought in another high-profile writer, Stephen Knight, as you all know. Now, Stephen Knight is no amateur. He actually created Peaky Blinders and wrote Eastern Promises. But just like the previous writers, well, Kathleen Kennedy's approach ultimately led to him stepping away from the project too. Now, you have to wonder what could be happening behind the scenes to push away such different individuals and different writers. And it appears that Kennedy and her ideas, alongside with Obaid-Chinoy's activist direction, weren't matching with Knight's approach. Now, this begs the question: what exactly is Kathleen Kennedy pushing here that's causing this much creative friction? I mean, if you have any thoughts about that, let me know in the comments below. And also, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. But it's also obvious that Kathleen Kennedy and Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy are committed to pushing forward regardless of the fan reaction. But with Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy's activist focus and Kathleen Kennedy's insistence on shaping the future of Star Wars her way, we're just simply watching Lucasfilm force an agenda on the franchise that was once beloved for its universal appeal. The Rey movie is just another attempt by Kathleen Kennedy to try to go ahead and reframe Star Wars into Disney Star Wars under her vision, but this is that vision. I mean, is that the vision that fans want to see? I mean, there's also been a string of troubled productions with constant reshuffles, writer replacements, and delays. And Kathleen Kennedy's pattern of handling Star Wars movies has been riddled with issues, and Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy, chosen by Kathleen Kennedy herself, well, isn't really experienced with blockbuster narratives. Like, let alone massive franchises like Star Wars. And yet Kathleen Kennedy seems to believe that simply having Sharmina Bay-Chinoy in the director's chair will help Star Wars move in the right direction, one that prioritizes themes of activism over adventure and myth that define Star Wars itself. But the fact that, Kathleen Kennedy keeps insisting on directors and writers who align with her specific view, like Sharmina Bay-Chinoy, suggests she's not focused on the heart of Star Wars, but on reshaping it. And if that's the case, then it's no wonder why so many fans actually believe or think or feel disconnected from the franchise. You see, Kathleen Kennedy and Sharmina Bay-Chinoy's version of Star Wars feels more like a lecture than a saga of heroes, villains, and galaxies far, far away. Now, as you all know, Kathleen Kennedy's impact on Lucasfilm has created a ripple effect across multiple, Star Wars projects. And with Kathleen Kennedy's support, Sharmina Bay-Chinoy is gearing up to direct the first full-length movie of her career. And Kathleen Kennedy's choice here highlights her focus on, promoting voices that she believes represents modern Star Wars and stuff. But this modernization hasn't been welcomed by everyone, especially when it seems to come at a cost of solid storytelling. Now, the fans aren't asking for Rey to return or, Sharmina Bay-Chinoy's perspective, and they want quality storytelling that doesn't feel like it's trying to push a social justice narrative. But what's also especially concerning here is that Kathleen Kennedy and Sharmina Bay-Chinoy don't really seem to be all that interested in listening to the fans. Instead, Kathleen Kennedy seems committed to plowing forward, relying on Sharmina Bay-Chinoy's activist voice to drive this project. And the writing troubles itself, the delays, and the constant, personnel changes all suggest that Kathleen Kennedy's management style and the, direction that Sharmina Bay-Chinoy is taking are putting Lucasfilm in a position that they can't keep talented people aboard. Now, you can't help but think that with Kathleen Kennedy continuing to call the shots and Sharmina Bay-Chinoy being the face of this project, that we're actually looking at yet another Star Wars film that will divide audiences instead of uniting them. Now, Kathleen Kennedy seems to believe that her vision will eventually win fans over, but with Sharmina Bay-Chinoy's activism-focused approach, it feels like we're in another Star Wars project that misses the mark. So, will Kathleen Kennedy understand what the fans want, or will she continue to double down with directors like Sharmina Bay-Chinoy? But all we can do is watch as Kathleen Kennedy and Sharmina Bay-Chinoy push this project forward. And Kathleen Kennedy's insistence in creating a new Star Wars that aligns with her vision, led by Sharmina Bay-Chinoy, has already turned fans away. Whether or not this movie actually gets made is up in the air, but one thing's for sure: Kathleen Kennedy isn't letting it go anytime soon. And with the Sharmina Bay-Chinoy directing this movie, this Rey movie will be shaped entirely by their perspectives, okay? But I mean, this is all that we're left with so far. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. What do you think of Kathleen Kennedy's direction with this project and Sharmina Bay-Chinoy as the director? Do you think this movie will live up to fans' expectations, or is Kathleen Kennedy, basically still steering Star Wars in the wrong direction? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you might have this particular topic. If you enjoyed what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share this video across social media. And if you have done so already, you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so that way you're notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.